The human ego. Such an interesting subject. Let's dive into this. Hello beautiful beings, my name is Nick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to dive into the human ego and basically the illusion of needing to take control. Ego is a Latin word for I. You may have heard it in many different instances, like egocentric, egoic, egoistic, egotistical, and egomaniac, for example. Like I explained in one of my previous videos, right up here, humans are basically a mix of two things, the ego and divine, or divine self. The ego is when we care more about ourselves, me, and care less about others. It is directly linked to our persona and who we identify as. Basically, the name you were given when you were born, the country you were born in, the religion you practice, and all other labels that basically society has labeled you as. But now the real question is are we really that persona? I would personally argue and say no, and basically say that we are just pure energy, or basically souls or spirits having a temporary human experience here on this earth and are basically immortal in essence. And basically that we are only experiencing this persona or avatar, and it has many different characteristics depending on the person. It kind of reminds me of one of my personal favorite movies, Avatar. You could see it as a very realistic video game or simulation, and that basically you are player one. But you don't really know who the real you is, or the you behind the controller is. It's kind of like a game that before you actually enter the game, you actually accept, and in the terms and conditions of the game is that you just do not remember anything from prior to make it the experience a lot more realistic. But it still doesn't change the actual realness of the game, and that you're actually, experiencing something real. A lot more scientific data is now suggesting that we're living in some sort of simulation. Sometimes we associate very much with that persona and can be very defensive at times, especially on belief systems that we already have, because basically it is our own truth and usually we stick by it. It is our truth of the world and we think that we know it all, but in fact the truth remains that nobody really knows. The ego is more connected with our physical form and our more primal nature, and basically it is very associated with control, protection of self, and superiority. Completely dissolving the ego on a permanent basis isn't that much good either, because what happens then is that other people might actually take advantage of you or step on you. So having a little bit of ego and personal boundaries is very important. As explained in one of my previous videos, the importance of boundaries, right up here. When you actually look at animals, they're not obsessed with ego like us humans. A good example of ego is, let's say you have an abusing husband or spouse towards their partner, forcing them to do certain things, or basically trying to manipulate them, to basically trying to mold them into certain behaviors and patterns to their own liking, instead of just letting them be their natural selves and accepting their true nature. The perfect example of ego is what's happening right now with lockdowns and restrictions because of the sickness that's actually going around. And they always say, and people will actually repeat it, oh, it's because of the sickness. Oh, this happens because of the sickness. Oh, this business actually closed because of the sickness. But it's not the real reason. The real reason is because those restrictions actually force them to close, etc. And basically, it's kind of like the ego has taken over. Like most abusers, like in abusive relationships, they will basically put the blame on others or on other things other than looking at themselves in the mirror. There is a lot of denial at play here. In fact, it's the human desire to basically try and control everything. We, or some of us, act like gods when we are not. Some humans are so embedded in their ego and have so much disconnected from their actual divine self and care for others that they feel the need to control every single aspect of everything in trying to make things better. But in truth, it's because they feel insecure about themselves. And the over-control is a coping mechanism to basically trying to compensate for the lack of confidence. More people need to connect with their divine selves and basically reconnect with their compassion for others and try to understand all sides of the debate. The human ego can be very out of control when stuck in a place of fear, which is very related with each other. We humans are here to be flying like birds in the sky, not like birds stuck in a cage. Cages could manifest themselves as a mandated mask over the face of people, basically restricting them from their, born giving right to breathe normally, or being forced to stay indoors because it's apparently way too dangerous. When you think about it, we take risks every day in life, right? We can drive cars, we can die having an accident very easily. You could just be walking on the sidewalk and basically be hit by a car. You could be riding a bike and fail and then, break your neck or something. There's always risks involved everywhere in life. At the same time, we are social creatures. We need social interactions with others to connect, touch, and feel emotions. It's necessary for proper development, especially in children, and for balanced mental health for everyone. I don't know about you, but I prefer to choose dangerous freedoms over peaceful slavery. And we can't let the collective ego to basically take over control of every single aspect. And ego is very connected with fear. And we can't let the collective fear or ego of other people basically override the freedom of other people. But anyways, there will come a time where freedom will prevail over the need of controlling others. And we, humans, will transcend this lower nature of the ego and basically live how we should truly be living. Just free spirits, enjoying and embracing every single aspect of the human experience for this limited and finite time that we have here on this earth. Free yourselves from your chains and live happy and free like you should be, because you absolutely deserve it. Don't be stuck in the illusion of the ego, especially not in the fear mindset, which is not healthy at all, mentally and physically. And basically connect within and let our true nature guide you. Love. Well, that was my short message for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please tap that bell notification button as well under the subscribe button. Take care, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching, and one love. Namaste.